Donald Trump shocked economists everywhere today in his disaster of a speech for the Detroit Economic Club, where he unveiled some stunning concepts of his concept of a plan for the economy that most economists agree should be seen less as blueprints for economic policies and more as threats to tank American prosperity. So let's break down his bombshell remarks about how he plans to make America live through the Great Depression again.
Will deliver a 1929-style depression, not recession.
In one of the most ironic moments that serves as just another instance of Donald Trump projecting his own incompetency, he started his economic forum speech with this.
You see, that's the real threat to democracy, stupid people. That's the threat. Our biggest threat to democracy is stupid people.
But that statement came back to bite him in the ass almost immediately, because Donald Trump constantly blames Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for having the worst economy in history, as he says, despite the stock market reaching record highs, job growth, wages being up, and post-pandemic inflation dropping to record lows. So you'd think he'd want to just keep lying about how bad things are to not confuse his feeble-minded base, but instead, today he tried to take credit for the stock market.
And there are many people saying, in particular, highly respected analysts like Scott Bessent, one of the top analysts on Wall Street, that the only reason that the stock market has gone up is because Donald Trump is doing very well in the polls, and it looks like he's going to win. A lot of people are saying that. Who knows? But a lot of people are saying that.
A lot of people are saying it, so it must be true. But who knows? Yeah, try making sense of that logic. It's no wonder his MAGA supporters are such fools.
What do you think happened with the hurricanes?
I think there was an upcoming storm, and then I think government set in with whatever it is that they do. I don't know all the specifics about it. I'm not an expert in cloud seeding or whatever it is that they use to magnify the storm to a higher degree to disturb a land that maybe wanted for lithium that Harris's husband is partaking in.
But his logic and his brain only went downhill from there, as in this next clip, he attempts to lay out his economic plan to defeat China and save the auto industry for the Motor City that starts as an utter disaster mentally and ends as an utter disaster logically. Just watch Trump double down on his insanity tenfold with this disastrous proposal that, as we'll see, has already been completely debunked.
So next, in addition to this rather easy thing to understand. By the way, does everyone understand this? Does everybody? Do you understand? Is there anybody that doesn't understand it? Would you please raise your hand? Raise your hand. Does anybody not understand it? See? How simple is that? I'd like to see the person. I really don't, sir. Then they have a front page story. Then we had a couple of dummies in the room. But we will implement further protections for critical industries that are fundamental to our national interests, and those include, above all, steel and the car industry. The car industry is critical to us. We can't fight a war if we can't make cars and trucks and engines and transmissions and drivetrains. Surrendering our car industry is not an option. We have to make our car industry brilliant again. We have to make it bigger. I'm going to make it bigger than it was ever before. Now, I'm going to make it very quick it's going to go, but to bring that to that level, I guess I'll need a little more time, but I won't have that time. But I'm going to hand it over to people. We're going to make this country so strong, and it's going to be so much easier to run. And I think we're going to end up actually having a lot of support from the other party. I really believe that. I think it's too basic. It's too basic. So as I said, China is currently building gigantic auto plants in Mexico, and they think that they're going to sell all of these cars into the United States, which would destroy Michigan, totally destroy your state. But it's not going to happen. I will impose whatever tariffs are required, 100%, 200%, 1,000%. They're not going to sell any cars because they're used to having stupid people to deal with. We're not going to let it happen. Those jobs are coming back to Michigan, and they're coming back to other states, and they're coming back to our country, and they're going to make America great again. That's it.
1,000% tariffs is wild. And as Mark Cuban pointed out recently on Fox News, these proposals from Trump are utter insanity that would destroy the American economy.
They both even include a good deal of tariffs in their economic plan. You argue that Donald Trump's are particularly, I think you used the word insane.
Yep. Well, first of all, strategic tariffs aren't bad. So if a company's trying to dump, or a country's trying to dump in the United States and we have a manufacturer there, tariff them, that's great. But across the board tariffs, 10 or 20%, is just inflationary. It's a tax on the American consumer. But to make matters even worse, and what's truly insane, when you threaten a legendary company like John Deere with a 200% tariff if they move, but only a 10 or 20% tariff on China, what you're doing is you're making it easy for the Chinese competitors to take business away from John Deere. That is the definition of insane.